Hi, this is Nicholas Bell with Ion Cinema, here to review My Zoe, the seventh film directed by writer, actor, director Julie Delpy, which premiered at the 2019 Toronto International Film Festival in the Platform Competition Program. It's being released February 26, 2021, courtesy of Blue Fox Entertainment. My Zoe is kind of a cerebral sci-fi film about a moral, ethical dilemma, that being cloning. Julie Delpy is Isabelle, an immunologist living in Berlin. She has a young daughter, 6 or 7 years old, thereabouts, kindergarten age perhaps, and she has a very contentious relationship with Zoe's father, James, played by Richard Armitage. Works in an architectural, creative design environment, and it's clear that these two have no love for one another, but seem to have a symbiotic, codependent relationship through this hate, where their daughter is kind of a subtle pawn between them. Isabelle started to date somebody else, Caillard, played by Saleh Bakri of The Band's Visit, which is also a point of contention between them. But suddenly, one morning, Isabelle wakes up to find Zoe unresponsive. She's rushed to the hospital. She's some kind of blow to the head. She's got internal intracranial bleeding and a hematoma. She's placed in a coma, and slowly her brain becomes unresponsive, and they take her off of life support, and she dies. Isabelle, being the immunologist that she is, has taken it upon herself to take a cell sample, and she takes it with her to Russia, where she meets an old colleague, Daniel Brule Thomas, who runs a new reproductive clinic in Russia, where he impregnates the elderly wives of oligarchs. She tries to fool him to saying that the cells are a rhesus monkey, and she wants to know if they're viable, but he can obviously tell they're human right away, and she courts him to assist her in cloning her daughter by implanting an embryo inside her. Gemma Arterton plays Daniel Brule's wife, who is completely opposed to his tentative agreement to help Isabelle with this, and then it becomes a moral issue film, and one from an interesting self-aware point of privilege, as evidenced by, I would say, Julie Delpy's more or less on-point ability in the script to kind of hit on all these necessary points for us not to lose being transported in this environment. Of course, it's in many narrative features in genre and otherwise about cloning throughout the years, and it is interesting narrative fodder. I think Delpy does a decent original job of navigating something that's even quite familiar. It probably most reminded me of the Errol Morris documentary Taboo, in which the subject of that film went to South Korea to have her dog cloned in the 1990s. Lots of interesting conversation pieces. It was shot by a favorite cinematographer of mine, Stéphane Fontaine, who of course shot Verhoeven's Elle, recently Ammonite, A Prophet by Jacques Audiard. There's a lot of interesting things here, so it's curious to see that the reception of it upon its initial premiere was a little bit muted. However, if you're a fan of Julie Delpy, who as a writer-director has a very interesting layered filmography under her belt, and this is something completely unexpected even from a varied career, I would give My Zoe 3 out of 5 stars. Thank you.
Hey, this is Eric from IONCINEMA.com. If you want to support us, subscribe below. For more reviews, interviews, film festival coverage from Sundance, Cannes, Toronto, you want to check out these guys on this side.